Hi everyone, welcome to my research proposal presentation. I am unable to do this live in Qualitative Conversations number 3 because I am the co-sponsor of our school's drama club and our drama teacher is currently out on maternity leave, and this week is tech week for our school's variety show and we have late rehearsals every night, so I am unable to do this in person, which is why I'm recording it. My name is Stephanie Galvan Russell. I am a middle school librarian in Austin, Texas. I am a Sam Houston State Instructional Systems Design and Technology doctoral student, and I am a vlogger and blogger at lispylibrarian.com. The overview of my research proposal is that this study seeks to understand how librarians connect to each other and use connections via social media as a form of professional learning. The study will focus specifically on Texas public school librarians, and interviews with Texas public school librarians will be the primary source of data. The research study proposal consists of an overview of the theoretical framework, research questions, literature review, and proposed methods of analysis, and all parts of this proposal can be found in the following slides. The theoretical framework of my research study is connectivism because it is a concept of self-organized learning and evolved over time. That is from the Harrison book, and it's being used to study the connection of librarians as they use social media as a form of professional learning. This will make more sense as we get into everything. So my research questions are, number 1, how are public school librarians using social media as a form of professional learning? 2, how are public school librarians using social media as a form of connecting to each other and learning from one another as a form of professional learning? And 3, what do public school librarians experience or perceive as differences in learning between digital and in-person professional development? My literature review is as follows. I'm going to go through these quickly, but you can also read these on your own time in the handout that I have provided. So first was the Social Media to Survive and Thrive article, and this was an exploratory article that went to explain the motivations, activities, and barriers behind learning on social media and identified gaps in research for a lack of research specifically about school librarians, and that past researchers view social media and social media users as homogenous. They found different groups and classified different librarians according to how they used social media, and the majority group was identified as lurkers. So they didn't do a lot of creating or putting content out. They just looked at what other people were putting out. Then was professional learning networks to support school librarians' development of instructional technology expertise. In this one, they asked 47 school librarians about skills that they were using that they did not learn in librarian prep programs, and most of them related to instructional design or instructional technology. So this was a really interesting article. Then was Making Professional Development More Social, a systematic review of librarians' professional development through social media in the Journal of Academic Librarianship. And this one explained how librarians use social media for professional development because it can help communicate across different distances, is low cost, and is asynchronous. So that one it answered a lot of questions about why we use social media. This one was my favorite article because Judy Marillion is a Texas librarian, and I have participated in TXL chat before. And she wrote School Librarians Tweet for Professional Development, a netnographic case study of TXL chat. And in this one, she used activity theory to share a case study about the motivations and benefits to group members of the regional Twitter chat, TXL chat. And my last article is Innovative Professional Development, Expanding Your Professional Development by Bettis. And in this one, they explained 5 reasons why school librarians need to use different forms of social media to develop a professional learning network. And it included accessing colleagues' thoughts, accessing timely information, the ability to ask questions and get immediate feedback, collaboration, and communication about events. It was a very interesting article that answered a lot of questions of what do we get out of using social media as professional development. So now we're going to talk about my proposed methods. So I'm going to, like I said, interview participants, and participants will be recruited via the via social media and in-person requests. They will be Texas K-12 school librarians, and they will be selected from previous experience that I've had with school librarians on social media, as well as in-person professional development events. These will be members and non-members of the Texas Library Association, but the Texas Library Association listservs for school librarians will be used. Additional participants will also be recruited by social media posts on Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter. Once I have gathered interested participants, I'm going to ask them the following questions. Would you consider being part of a study on how Texas school librarians are using social media as a form of professional learning? Do you use social media as a form of professional learning? Which social media apps or websites are you active on? And interviews will be the primary form of data collection. Please indicate which interview format would be preferable to you, and then they would choose that. Once participants have been chosen, an ideal number would be 100 school librarians who use social media. If they are active and if they have been chosen for this, then they will be sent a Google Calendar link to schedule a time for an interview that works for their schedule. The interviews will be mostly held on Zoom so that they can be downloaded as MP3 files and transcribed via Word Online so that the researchers can come back to the data later. But there are other options for interviews to be held via social media or email. For example, some interviews will be held over Instagram or Twitter's direct messages, as well as Facebook's Messenger app. Once the interviews have been conducted, the information will be archived. So before the interviews begin, consent forms will be given to the participants and then asking to record interviews. Interviews held in chat format like email, Instagram DMs, Twitter DMs, or Messenger app, they will be copied and pasted into a Word document to allow for coding. And then emails will be archived, and so will any of the chats. In any interviews held over a phone call, the phone call will be recorded and uploaded into Word Online as an MP3 file for transcription. And then any records will be added to a spreadsheet. After that, once the study is completed, everything will be deleted and destroyed to make sure that participants' privacy is always protected. The following are my interview protocol questions. Please share some of your history in using social media and what you use it for. Please share some of your experiences of professional learning. What social media networks are you active in, and what do you consider yourself to be most active in? When did you join the social media apps that you are active in, and how long have you been an active member? Do you believe that you can or have been using social media as a form of professional development? And if so, please share some of your experiences. What experiences do you have with TXL chat or any other hashtag chat? And how did that impact your view of experiences with professional learning? What tags or people do you find yourself following to gather new ideas? What library programming or new ideas have you learned about or implemented from social media? Who are some social media users that don't have to be librarians that you feel you have learned from on social media? What have you learned from these users? Why do you think librarians flock to social media for professional development? What do you prefer, in-person professional learning or virtual? And please share why you chose that. What are some differences in learning between digital and in-person professional development? What different do you use social media for? If not, what do you use it for? That pasted weird. I'll fix that. Have you attended the Texas Library Association annual conference or any other professional learning conference? And did that change the way that you use social media? If so, how? And how would you compare or contrast the conference to professional learning on social media? If you're not using social media as a form of professional development, what do you use it for? And once the interviews have been completed, data will be analyzed according to the following slides. So first, the interview transcripts will be put into a document file and manually coded using deductive coding and thematic analysis. Actually, it will not be deductive coding, it will be priori coding, according to Dr. Eaton. So a starter list will include connections to people, connections to librarians, in-person experiences, virtual experiences, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram mentions, and direct messages. Then a second round of coding will occur that will look for relationships, library programming, book displays, book recommendations, community relationships, teacher connections, and administrative connections. Then, as the data has been read more and more codes will be added to the list. Codes will then be assigned colors using the highlight and annotation tools, and then the data will be kept track of by pulling specific quotes out that match specific codes, and then keep a running count in the table that is included in the spreadsheet. These codes will be used to create overall themes and connections so that we can answer the research questions. Here are my references, and thank you for viewing my presentation. This presentation is also going to be available on my Google site that you can see here. It is embedded in the page. You can also use the link to see it live. And then you can also go through the pages that have all of the same information if you would like to do a deep dive, but you also have the handouts that match these slides. Thank you again for watching. Have a great day. Bye.